The Rambling Geordie.
Alright everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about something that sums up everything that's wrong with this country right now. An imam who helped hound a teacher out of his home, out of his job, and into hiding for years because he showed a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad in a lesson about free speech. And now, that same imam gets an award from the police. West Yorkshire Police, no less. And I tell you what, if that doesn't make your blood boil, I don't know what will. This is two-tier system in action. It goes without saying, and I'm going to lay out exactly what happened right now. So let's go back to March 2021, Batley Grammar School in West Yorkshire. A religious studies teacher, or the head of RE, decent bloke by all accounts, is teaching a lesson on blasphemy and free speech. Now, you already know that's not going to go down well with the Muslims in that area, don't you? He shows a cartoon from Charlie Hebdo, the famous one of the Prophet Muhammad. Now, it's offensive to many Muslims, no one's denying that, even though, so fucking what if it is? But it was part of a discussion about why people draw these things and the limits of free expression. Of course, within days, dozens, some reports say up to 100, protesters were outside the school gates, chanting, demanding the teacher be sacked, videos everywhere. And I'm sure you don't have to think too hard about what kind of ethnicity all of these protesters were. Anyway, the school panics. They suspend the teacher immediately. The head teacher, Gary Kibble, issues an unequivocal apology, says the image was totally inappropriate, and they withdraw the material. And the teacher? Well, he starts getting death threats, like real ones. So serious that the police have to put him and his family into protection. He goes into hiding with his partner and 4 kids. So, 3, 4, 5 years later, he's still living in hiding. Living under a different name in a secret location outside of Yorkshire. His family says he'll probably never be able to go home. Now that's the reality, okay? A teacher's doing his job discussing free speech in Britain, and he's the one who has to disappear. That should terrify you, to be honest. But it gets worse, okay? One of the main organisers and voices in these protests was Mohammed Adil Shahzad. He was out there involved in the demonstrations. He publicly named the teacher, doxed him essentially, and he helped whip up the entire outrage at the guy. So Shahzad has links to Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, or TLP, which is a group known for supporting violence against people accused of blasphemy. In Pakistan, they've been involved in some very dark stuff, which I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you about. He wasn't some random parent, he was a key figure in pushing this. And because of actions like this, that teacher's still living in fears years later. The Khan review in 2024 was absolutely brutal. It said the teacher was totally and utterly failed by the school, the council and the police. Essentially, they threw him under the bus to appease the mob. Free speech? Nah, apparently not when it offends certain demographics. And now the punchline that makes this whole thing just completely sick. In 2023, West Yorkshire Police helped present certificates and awards to imams at a Bradford council event. Of course, it's in Bradford. One of the men who received one, you guessed it, Mohammed Adil Shahzad, the same bloke heavily involved in hounding that Batley teacher. Another imam at the same event had his own baggage, where he was encouraging support for convicted Al-Qaeda terrorists in the past. Shocked, I know. Police officers were there handing out the praise. Certificates for what exactly? Community work? While the man they honoured played a part in driving a British teacher and his family into hiding for showing a cartoon in a classroom. I mean, this is just two-tier system on steroids. A teacher exercises free speech in a lesson, gets death threats, forced into hiding for years. The imam who helped make that happen, who doxed him, gets a pat on the back from the police. Where's the award for the teacher? Where's the protection that actually lets him live a normal life? Instead, we get this. appeasement dressed up as community relations. Now, this isn't just one story, it's part of a whole pattern. We've seen it with grooming gangs, authorities terrified of being called racist. We've seen it with protests and policing, one rule for some and another for others. And now we see it here, a teacher punished for teaching about free speech. While the people who threatened him, they get honoured by the police, don't they? What message does this send? It says, offend the wrong group and the system will fold. Challenge blasphemy taboos in a British classroom and you'll pay the price. Organise protests that put a man and his family in hiding and you might just get a certificate. You know, Britain used to be about free speech, about not living under blasphemy laws, about protecting teachers, not mobs. This whole case shows just how far we've fallen. So the Imam from the Batley protests, Mohammed Adil Shahzad, heavily involved with hounding a teacher into hiding for showing a cartoon, potentially in the crossfires of any radical Islamist out there. He gets an award from West Yorkshire Police, and it's known to the police that he was working for a group that seeks to punish people for speaking out about Islam. Unbelievable. What do you make of it? Drop us your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this is appeasement or is it just something worse? Share the video if you like it and if it makes you as angry as I am about it. And do us a favour, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.